We were actually trying to get Pavel Durov visit us here in Tashkent and join, so he would come and join us for breakfast. I even offered to buy him a breakfast, believe it or not. My treat on me. Pavel, knock yourself out, just show up, let's have breakfast. He didn't make it for breakfast. He made it to France, where he was arrested upon arrival. Pavel Durov's arrest came as a shock, happened out of the blue, and it was the most discussed event of late August. Only it didn't happen out of the blue. There had been signs that something was going on. And let's find out the truth. And this is important. It concerns all of us. Howdy, howdy, friends. My name is Konstantin, and welcome to Inside Russia, where usual Russia is explained by the unusual Russian. As usual, you will find only truth, common sense, and logic here. You will not find BS, propaganda, and lies. You will also find some emotions because I'm a human being after all. This live stream today will consist of 3 parts: the usual message about Durov, his product Telegram, and how he sold to the Kremlin. And I invite everyone to join me for discussion, sharing of opinions, and I'll answer questions. And we will end this live stream with a prayer as usual. So let's begin, shall we? Durov's arrest is hugely important. Telegram is a vital communication tool for many, and why I have kept silence about this very important topic for quite some time. It's very simple. I only speak of what I am sure. I have information and I have expertise on. I was caught. I was caught. I didn't expect Durov's arrest. I had no clue what was coming. And I was trying to figure out. That's why I did not say anything. That's why I kept silence. So I have gathered information. Now I can tell you what's going on, my opinion of what happened to Pavel Durov, the fate of Telegram, and how, again, he sold out to the Kremlin. I did invite Pavel Durov to join us for breakfast at the Tashkent Breakfast Club, the place where Russian exiles in Tashkent meet and support each other. And it's not a joke. It did happen. I shared my invitation with everyone, and we were expecting him to respond in one way or another. Now, I don't know Pavel Durov personally. Neither I have direct communication with him. I saw him once in St. Petersburg in his office back in 2012 because I rented an office right next to Vkontakte HQ, his previous project. And it was an interesting experience, but I simply just saw him, bump into him, that's all. So it was as close as I got to know Pavel Durov. This summer, he announced plans to visit Uzbekistan, the Central Asian countries. So I posted invitation in various Telegram groups, hoping that he would see it and respond. And he usually does look through Telegram groups, but he did not either see it, he either didn't see it or he didn't respond. So the reason why we at Tashkent Breakfast Club wanted to meet him was we wanted to show our appreciation and say thank you for his product, the Telegram Messenger. Telegram literally saved our lives. We, as the support group, and there are over 1,000 people at Tashkent Breakfast Club now, we together we exchange ideas, we communicate, and we stay in touch. We bring in new people, we spread information um, using Telegram. Telegram is very important for it's vital. Okay, the entire Tashkent Russian exiles community knew of my invitation, and I was bombarded by personal messages. Everyone wanted to meet Pavel Durov. Everyone wanted to shake his hand, and everyone wanted to thank him. All of us, literally. Well, we never did. And most likely, we won't meet him anytime soon. Now, let me tell you who Pavel Durov is, what he did, what he arrested for, and why it is very important. Pavel Durov is a legend in Russia. He is one of the very few people who broke the system, who broke the rules. He broke Russian system. He became successful, rich, and famous by himself, being an outsider, not being part of the government, not being part of the secret police, not being part of the army or any kind of social group that exists in Russia. In 2006, he founded Russia's first social network called VKontakte. Well, VKontakte was a knockoff, then brand new Facebook. VKontakte looked just like Facebook, literally. I remember I was one of the first users of Facebook. Well, joined months after it was launched. And then I saw VK and I was shocked that they looked the same. And this is my theory, okay, of how VK was born. I don't know for sure whether it's true or not, but, this is what I think. Durov must have been one of the first users of Facebook, just like me, when Facebook was not known in Russia. And he simply renamed it, copied it, and launched it in Russia under a different name. Voila! And the rest is history. That was the beginning. Later, he developed his own product. Facebook and VKontakte became very different, okay? But they were siblings at birth. VK exploded in Russia. It became madly popular, especially among teenagers, young adults. Facebook was actually late entering Russia, so VK became Russian Facebook, the Facebook that you know. Along with popularity came power. You see, social networks, they were just changing our lives so rapidly. If you recall 15 years ago, it was amazing. VKontakte became a tool that could bring sales because it delivered advertising cheaply and effectively, super effectively, and it also could deliver very special information into the minds, right straight into the minds of every single Russian, because everyone had a VK account. Well, you should read it like this. VKontakte had a direct access of information, a direct access to the minds of people that could send information that could sparkle protests against the government. VKontakte was censorship-free about 4 years. Great years. I remember anything went. VKontakte represented freedom. That actually how freedom looks like, in my opinion, okay? So the VKontakte was what I remember from 2006 to 2011. The freedom ended in 2011. The government demanded Durov would remove information about the opposition leaders from the VK, and they demanded censorship from him for the first time. And Pavel Durov showed them his middle finger and barricaded in his office. And that was now famous the standoff between VK, VKontakte, Pavel Durov, and the police. And they couldn't break into the offices of VKontakte for hours. And then they broke in. They couldn't charge him with anything because the laws simply didn't exist. He didn't break any rules, and they couldn't make him, Russia was completely different back then. And it was actually amusing to us to watch. If we knew back then what we know now, what that amusement would lead us to, we would not be amused. We would be mad. We would be flooding the streets and we would be changing things, okay? But back then, we were just looking at it and it was amusing. Oh, I can't believe this now. But anyway, that was me 13 years ago. But that standoff was actually the beginning of Contacti's end. The government realized the power that social networks gave and decided to take it, steal it from Durov. Now they would act very simply. They would simply take and throw him to jail, prison, but then they actually bought him out. In 2013, he was forced to sell Vkontakte, his product, and to leave Russia. Can you imagine that happening now? I can't. Now it's gulag. Today you are in Moscow, tomorrow you are somewhere in Siberia, in prison, getting charged with spreading fakes or, espionage for the Japanese Secret Service or something like that. So, but that was the time. He sold, rumors have it, a few $100 million, and he left Russia. So, let me tell you, so you understand who's in charge of Vkontakte now. That's been rebranded to VK. Its CEO is the son of Russia's Grey Cardinal, who is in charge of the propaganda and the ideology of the state. Enough said. Let me tell you. So, Pavel Durov was forced to leave Russia. He became a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis and disappeared for some time, only to emerge later, a little bit later, with a new revolutionary product. And I'm not being sarcastic, his product was revolutionary. A personal messenger called Telegram. You see, personal messaging was on the rise, it was exploding around that time. People discovered a new way of communicating securely using various private messengers in smartphones. Smartphones, for goodness sake. Smartphone was a novelty back then. It was a revolutionary product in itself, and it gave so many opportunities that we're just so used to now. But, back 10, 15 years, remember the first iPhone came out. My gosh. And then Apple opened iPhone for different developers so they could develop applications. That's revolution. So it all started with two messengers that became wildly popular, WhatsApp and Viber. WhatsApp is a standalone app for iPhone and Android phones. You just download it, use Wi-Fi, and say goodbye to your telephone bills. You don't even need to have actual number and a telephone. All you have to do is smartphone and access to Wi-Fi. That's it. When I travel abroad, I don't buy numbers. I just, I always have access to Wi-Fi. Voila. Couple years later, Microsoft scooped WhatsApp up for a cool $19 billion, okay? And other messengers were bought as well. I know that WhatsApp was wildly popular. And the social networks kind of jumped on the bandwagon. They started offering their own built-in messengers. Facebook followed with a messenger. The messenger is just not good. Don't use it. That's so low quality. VK also offered Messenger, and there was one little problem. All messengers were controlled by large corporations by 2014. And Pavel Durov came up with his own product, Telegram, his own messenger. He invested about $300 million that the sale of Kontakte brought him, and developed an encrypted, safe, secured messaging service. That was brilliant. And for quite some time, Telegram was considered absolutely safe. In Russia, the secret police obtained the keys to all messengers. And it was easy. I mean, all owners of the messaging services either resided in Russia or, they had some kind of a presence, even Microsoft. And the cops, they simply, you know, uh, gave offers that those people in charge they couldn't refuse, except for Pavel Durov. He was in Berlin. He was independent. He was a citizen of a different state. He was rich. He didn't need money, and he was out of reach. Later, he moved to Dubai, and still he was out of reach. He kept communications keys secret. Actually, he was saying at the time that the infrastructure of Telegram provided that no keys existed and they just couldn't be, given to anyone. There were no keys. So he kept communications inside Telegram, safe, unaccessible. And he was actively developing Telegram, adding new features, feature after feature, making it really a communication powerhouse. Safe, encrypted powerhouse. Boy, what was to follow? um, that was safe. The Telegram was safe until certain time. Unfortunately, well, I think it's easy to say that Telegram back then was really safe and was really encrypted, and no one had the keys to it except for Durov, or perhaps no one had the keys. They were stored somewhere. Except for we didn't know everything about safety back then, unfortunately, what we know now. Now, folks, before I tell you how and when Putin bought Durov and Durov actually sold out to the Kremlin, and Telegram ceased to be the safe means of communication, I'd like to thank you again. There's no news from Google. I'm still demonetized. Since yesterday, nothing's changed. Keep on receiving emails, keep on receiving support, keep on receiving, good words, love, prayers. Thank you so very much. Thank you for all of you who bought me coffees at Buy Me Coffee, became patrons at patreon.com, sent funds through PayPal. Much appreciated. I'm hanging in there here. I don't know what to tell you. It's discouraging. It hurts. My family is behind me. You are behind me. Thank you so very much. And that keeps me afloat. It keeps me sane. It keeps me from falling into a very dark mental state. And there's a fly here. So thank you so very much. Now back to the message. In 2017, Pavel Durov announced that in a bid to monetize the growing success of Telegram, he was launching the Gram cryptocurrency and the Telegram Open Network called TON platform. And that was major. Actually, still is. A new currency, completely independent and anonymous. Durov immediately raised a total of $1.7 billion from different investors. However, Russian government is not the only entity in the world that doesn't like when it has no control and likes to have total control. Okay, the American government is guilty of that to some degree as well, to some extent. And the gram cryptocurrency and Ton were halted by American regulator US Securities and Exchange Commission, which argued in court that gram bypassed US financing laws and Durov had to return the money to the investors. That was a very revolutionary decision by US court because what Durov was making was outside of the US jurisdiction, but US Security and Exchange Commission didn't think so. And that scared off all the investors. And Durov, by court's order, US court's order, and he was based in Dubai, had to return the money to the investors. And he did so. He did so. And that's a very interesting story, all right? Well, anyway, Durov moved on, but he at the same time was targeted by Russia's secret police KGB. In 2017, Russia attempted to block Telegram after the company refused to cooperate with the secret police. A leaked letter from the KGB employees stated that the block was actually tied to the company's intention to launch the Telegram Open Network. It would give too much privacy and too many opportunities for anyone in Russia. During the attempted block period, the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs continued to operate official channels on the app. That's how, double-faced they are. Anyway, Russian government was trying to block Telegram for years, a few years, and they failed. They couldn't block it. They tried real hard, but they did not have the technology back then. They finally stopped blocking Telegram in 2020, and everyone in Russia went literally like this. Whew. Although we used Telegram, we were using all those years, it still was not as easy as without blocking. So now you know the story of Pavel Durov, you know the story of his brilliant product VK of Kontakte, and you know the story of his brilliant product Telegram. That's preamble. That's where it gets interesting. Pavel Durov. Now, this is what I've told you so far. This information has been pretty public, but now this is why I have not spoken of Telegram and Durov for quite some time. Okay, I was gathering information. Pavel Durov fell out of public space. For years, he was in the shadows. And now, all of a sudden, he gave an interview just out of the blue this summer. He gave an interview to Carlson Tucker, and that was major. It hit the news all over the world, and it was watched by hundreds of millions of people. And not too many people had known about Pavel Durov before the interview, and they kind of learned of him and the story of Telegram after. Among other things, he disclosed that American special services have been watching him all alone, closely, especially when he visited America. Okay, and then he stopped visiting America because he wasn't feeling comfortable there because of FBI most likely, or other organization. They contacted him, they spoke to him, so he stopped coming there. Okay. I was wondering, why in the world Pavel Durov would give this interview? What reason? What good reason? He had been pretty successful staying in the dark, okay, and then he had been developing Telegram. I'm a user of Telegram myself. I know this wonderful, marvelous product, okay, but why? This is not his place to be a public person. Why? No answer back then. Then, right after the interview, he announced that he was taking a tour around Central Asia, in the following summer. And that's where I was trying to contact him to invite to have breakfast with us at Tashkent Breakfast Club. And then recently it got real weird. Okay, Pavel Durov moved, he visited Kyrgyzstan, he visited Kazakhstan, and then he visited Azerbaijan. And in Azerbaijan, he had a goal. He wanted to meet Vladimir Putin, who happened to visit Azerbaijan as well. So, one on one, private conversation. Why in the world Pavel Durov would need that? What the hell? First, he speaks with Tucker Carlson. Then he wants to have a chat with Putin. The official version, and this time I actually believe it, um, he was denied the meeting by the chief of president's staff's office, and yeah, I believe it. So Durov wanted to meet Putin but was rejected. And then, almost immediately, he flew to France, where he got arrested. The French had a warrant for his arrest, but no one had known there was a warrant issued. It was a very tricky warrant. Okay, it was activated upon Durov's arrival to the country, and Durov certainly did not know about that. And Durov was a French citizen. He obtained the French citizenship a few years ago in a legal way. Okay, so Durov was arrested and charged with all kinds of possible crimes, atrocious crimes, including child molestation, child pornography, organizing groups with goals to murder people, selling drugs in large quantities, smuggling, pretty much all the charges he's charged with, okay, in France. Russian propaganda, it's basically nonsense, okay? Everyone understands it's nonsense. Russian propaganda exploded. How could they do that? What the hell is going on? Look at the West. It's so evil. Pavel Durov is the citizen of Russia. They're Russian citizens of Russia. No one is safe in France. No one, oh my gosh. Everyone from Simonyan to the senators started speaking in support, very loud in support of Durov. That doesn't happen in Russia, okay? Unless they're ordered to. And immediately that was a huge red flag. I didn't think of anything about Pavel Durov. I thought that his telegram is still safe, okay? All of a sudden, Pavel Durov became the best friend of Russian government. And before, not too long ago, a few years ago, he was the enemy number one of Russian state. What a drastic change. So Pavel Durov in 2014 burned bridges. He was leaving Russia, saying there's no way back, especially after I publicly refused to cooperate with the authorities, with the KGB. And that's where it gets real interesting. So he burns bridges in 2014. As it turns out, and this information is very reliable, Durov comes to visit Russia many times from 2015 to 2017 and from 20 to 2021 for 2 years. The only exception was the period when the Kremlin decided to block Telegram and declared war on Telegram and on Durov personally, when he became the enemy of Russia. I didn't know that he traveled. No one knew he traveled. He traveled in secret, okay? In June 2020, well, in the summer of 2020, Pavel Durov had to return $1.7 billion to the investors. I guess there was a deadline. He could have returned some of it. I don't really know the details. No one really knows. But the deadline was in the summer of 2020. And that was the time when he needed money desperately. He visited Russia. He left Russia on June 18th. He left Russia, and all of a sudden, somehow magically, he got the money to pay the investors off. And at the same time, on the very same day, Russian government unblocked Telegram in Russia, announcing that it was safe. Now, how do we know this information? Very simple. The secret police KGB leaked information of border crossing of Russian citizens. Pretty much not just about Durov, but about all Russian citizens. It's out there. Okay, I don't know how the leak happened. I just don't know that the database, I have not seen it personally. I just know it's out there for people to see. And you can check everyone's border crossing in the last years, including Pavel Durov. So some investigated and learned that his visits to Russia coincided with very important decisions in his life, in the life of Telegram. Now, he was arrested. Why? And of course, I don't know why. This is just my thoughts. I could be wrong. Okay. I'm still watching the information, it's still developing. Okay. He comes to France and he gets arrested. He's charged with, again, all kinds of crimes. They don't make any sense. Okay. The French charge him because he doesn't censor, he doesn't moderate his product Telegram. It's free, you know. We at Tashkent Breakfast Club can set up any group and discuss any topic. And, you know, Telegram is not going to poke its nose into our discussions. So there's hundreds of millions of people, they do the same, right? So why? Why the French finally arrest him? I think, and again, I could be wrong, that the French are following the order or demand or trying to do a favor to their friends from the United States. I think the French are acting as proxy, and I think that American special services have a certain goal. They have hopes for Telegram. Obviously, they want to control it. They want to have access to it. Okay. Obviously, they want to be on par with the Russians, okay, and they want to have to break into the communications of Russian armed forces. I think that's one of the reasons. Again, I could be wrong, but this makes sense, okay? It's just if we think of it logically. Russian armed forces have been using Telegram for communications extensively in the battlefields and everywhere. Russian army lacks special communication equipment. Well, it exists on paper, of course, but, you know, as money was stolen. So they used Telegram. And I think that's the major reason behind it, is to somehow force Pavel Durov release the keys. And they don't want him to be in prison. And my bet is he will cooperate. He will not be locked up, okay? But we'll see. I don't know. So Pavel Durov came to France to meet the French president. The meeting was apparently arranged by a tech billionaire, French billionaire, a friend of President Macron. Okay, Macron denies, but Durov, when he was being arrested, he was telling, "Hey, why you arrested me? I came to visit, to meet the president of France." You know, so there's no proof, but there's something is very fishy, and I do believe that he was going to meet Macron, and he was probably invited by Macron or by a friend of Macron. Again, I could be wrong. That's what I think at this point. There are still a lot of questions in the blind spots, white spots, and I'm staying on top of things. Pavel Durov was put into a French prison, not prison, jail, I'm sorry, and he spent there a few days, and now he's been released. Now he's out there and free. His French passport was seized. He is not allowed to leave France, and he's under police supervision. I think he has to check in twice a week. He has attorneys working for him, obviously, and there's a court date, and his fate is going to be decided in the French court. So the situation is developing. But, friends, I tell you what, if I knew what I know now 2 months ago about Pavel Durov, his visits to Russia, his alleged communications with the Kremlin, him trying to arrange personal meeting with Vladimir Putin. If I knew that Telegram censored Navalny's organization, the political party, back in 2021 during the municipal elections, I didn't know that. But if I knew that uh, Pavel Durov all of a sudden came up with the money to pay his investors off, and if I knew why Telegram was unblocked, because I thought they simply couldn't keep on blocking it, so they just unblocked it. But if I knew the truth, I would never invite Pavel Durov to visit us at the Breakfast Club and have breakfast on us. I would not offer him breakfast. I would certainly not sit at one table, and I would not shake his hand. And this is my message for today. Thank you so much. I hope you found it interesting. I invite everyone to join live stream chat. I'm ready to answer your questions if you have any. Let me turn the chat on, and this is my most favorite part. Now, even more favorite than before, because when I see real people communicating, in the chat, and lifts my spirit, considering what's happening with Google and demonetization. It's pretty discouraging. But friends, what do you think? Did you learn anything new for yourself? Did you find it interesting what I told you? Any questions? I am ready. And if you're here for the first time, I would like you to know that this community inside Russia, it's the best community on the internet. And you know why? Because it has the best members, you, and it has the best mods who have helped to keep this community clean, pleasant, respecting. We do not discuss U.S. politics here. We use only English, no Russian, please, no other languages, and we respect each other. So thank you so much for joining. And if you want me to notice your message easier or your question, please put it in all caps and put Inside Russia after @ sign, just like Harry Potter did. So it's highlighted in orange, and I see it easily. Thank you. You know what? I just caught myself thinking that every single day I write an article and I present it. Wow, over 1,000 articles. The usual stream is I don't script. Well, not always. Very, very sophisticated, complicated topics I do script. If they're full of facts, full of numbers, full of names, I guess I would simply forget. But I usually do bullets, and but still, it's researching, it's putting everything together, it's putting bullets together. Sometimes it's scripting, so it's like writing an article. So anyway, friends, thank you so much for coming. Fantastic to see the usual suspects. Unfortunately, I don't see members of Inside Russia anymore, because all memberships have been pretty much canceled. I've been demonetized for a couple weeks, and that's it. All are gone. Now it's only Patreon and buy me coffee, but still, it doesn't matter to me. You are the greatest. Thank you so much. You know who you are. So let's jump to the questions. Elsha, good to see you back. Yes, I am. Every single day, monetized or not, I'm here at the usual time. And my efforts do not depend on whether I make money of YouTube or don't. You help me keeping me afloat. You give me motivation. You give me energy. So thank you so much, everyone. And Elsha, you too. Thank you. Your chat is being disabled, Constant. Well, it's enabled now. Um, RW, great to see you. Werner, is Telegram part of Prigozhin's troll army? No, it's not. It belongs to Pavel Durov. Um, it does have tons of good stuff. We still use Telegram. It's just we don't use it for personal communications. Telegram is still much better than, for example, WhatsApp. This is like wide open for the KGB. Even 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I was shown quite a few times by the cops that they could eavesdrop onto the conversations of people just like at the turn of a button on WhatsApp. And everyone knew that. Telegram was harder. Back then, they couldn't. Telegram was safe. That's why I considered Telegram safe, and that's why I respected Durov for not selling out until I learned what happened. So Prigozhin did use Telegram extensively, and everyone is using Telegram. It's a very convenient tool, but Telegram is not part of Prigozhin's Trolls army. And that Trolls army is not Prigozhin's anymore. Thomas, howdy. Georgios Rigas, why are you not in Rumble? That's a good question. I love YouTube. YouTube is so much superior to everything else for one simple reason, well, for two reasons. First, it has so many more users than anything else out there. And then the second, it has the algorithm. And the algorithm, Google knows everything about us. And it knows who is interested in learning about Russia. And it takes my messages and spreads them to those, it connects me to people all over the world who like to see what I speak about. And that's how my channel grows. Rumble doesn't have that. VK doesn't have that. God forbid. VK is controlled by Russian secret police. Um, Vimeo, it is just they're hosting. Like, how would I spread the word about my videos? I would have to tell you somehow that I'm on Rumble. I have to give you a link. Rumble doesn't spread the messages. Rumble is, with all my due respect, I mean, it's just an inferior platform. And I'm not talking about censorship. I'm talking about technical stuff. Okay, YouTube is just so much superior. That's why I'm not on Rumble. I like YouTube. I've invested so much time into YouTube, and I'm still being watched here, demonetized. Okay, but they still, they've left me the voice, and that's why I'm not on Rumble. It simply would take more time to be on YouTube and on Rumble. Undercover pirate. Durov was arrested based on French new law for online platforms, which is a result of implementation of Digital Service Act. Well, it was a political. I am convinced it was a political decision to arrest him, and the French are not doing it independently. I am absolutely sure that the Americans are behind it. By the way, what do you think? Do you think it's just the French or the American special services are behind it? Share leaf. I learned so much about Durov today. I had no idea. That's why I came here to buy coffee. Well, thank you, friend. Coffee, no coffee. It's fantastic to see you. Thanks for By the way, Sherleaf was a great guy. We communicate in Patreon. In Patreon app, there is a special messaging messenger, Patreon messenger. It's actually a place. It's like a, I don't know what is this, a forum, uh, message board where you can, post your messages live, and you can post pictures, and everyone shows their faces, and that's great. So go and check it out. Thank you, Sherleaf. Gato, thank you. Terry, you didn't know, so there's that. Thank you, friend. Sherleaf, is it true that there's no meaningful encryption? I don't. So you think that Americans are behind it, right? So I don't know how to answer it. I'm not. I don't know much about encryption, things like that. I just know like general stuff. Please turn up output volume. Sherleaf, is it true that there's no meaningful encryption? What's I don't. So you think that Americans? Look, it's pretty loud here. I mean, I don't put it up a little bit, but it's loud. Okay, moving on. Um, cherished light worker. Thank you so much. Sandy Oi. Um, words like that just really keep me going. Money is much needed, much appreciated these days. But your wishes and words and prayers and love, they're absolutely priceless. Okay. Um, thank you so much, friends. Jill Lebresh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I have two steps I would like to try. And one of the steps, I'd like to stage a campaign. I would like to ask everyone to write a letter on my behalf to Google, see if it works. But I need to know where to write it to, who to write it to. Okay. So it's not in vain, if you know what I mean, because that's going to be a lot of efforts. So thank you so much. Stay tuned, and every day I will be making updates on demonetization. Like I said, there's not much news since yesterday. Ariel Campbell, I have always been curious. I'm a Gen X. What was it like living under Boris Yeltsin? Ariel, great question. I cannot answer it right now. I mean, I can, but it's just too much time. I'm gonna make a stream. That's a stream idea. Thank you so much. There's much to tell. Trust me, that was a very interesting time. I made a note of your comment. Um, Royal Oak, you think that censored Navalny's organization was a contribution for unblocked Telegram Russia? No, no, no. It wasn't like that. I think that he went to Russia. He spoke to. Oh, gosh, I forgot to tell you. I'm so sorry. Another odd thing happened. Um, you see, it's not scripting; it's bullets, and sometimes I miss things. So on August 30th, Dmitry Peskov, Putin's press secretary, publicly announced that Vladimir Putin had never met Pavel Durov personally. Today, Vladimir Putin talked how he met Pavel Durov once. You see, a few days later, Peskov lied, and today Putin admitted there was a lie. Okay? And also, had I known that information, had I known that he met Putin before, that I would think differently. So um, Durov came to Russia in 2020. He needed money desperately. And he made a deal. He got the money, he gave access to Telegram, and Telegram got unblocked. But he blocked Navalny's organization, deleted groups on a few occasions next the following year, 2021. And I think it was at the request of the authorities, the secret police, as part of the deal. That's I could be wrong, but that's what I think now. And it was not continuous. It was just a one single time event. A few times it happened during the elections. Lucas, thank you so much for um, appreciating the mods. Craig Savarizi, long time no see. Good to see you. Not a bad deal. Raise over $1 billion, earn and keep the interest despite having to return the principal investment. Agreed. Although I don't think it was his intention. I think he wanted to launch the cryptocurrency, which he launched eventually. And I think he was going to launch that earlier, and that's a revolutionary product. Okay. Now his cryptocurrency is going down, of course, because he's arrested. And I think that Telegram is not going to be the same in terms of popularity. And what is a safe means of communications these days? If any one of you is a cryptocurrency expert, please let us know. Is there anything that is completely safe and secure to communicate? Royal OG, unfortunately, no one is perfect. I do not judge Pavel Durov. Not, no, no, no. It was not on my intention. It's just my attitude has changed towards him. I would not meet him for breakfast. I would not shake his hand. That's all. But yes, no one is perfect, of course. Terry, it's nice to be with friends. Thank you so much. Stefan Aboti just wanted to know how are you after all. I'm physically refreshed because I took a few days off, 4 days off. Um, it's been very rough summer. Two, well, three bad things happened. First thing is we had plans of moving places and they just got crushed. And it's terrible. We're working on different plans right now, but what I was hoping to accomplish just disappeared into thin air. Another thing was Oля got denied her student visa to the US college. She got denied twice. She got approved for the third time. But it took us almost a month, thousands of dollars, and so many worries and so many fears that she would get denied for the third time, she wouldn't make it. Then it really took toll on me. It was incredibly stressful. And right after she received the visa, I was demonetized. So this is right now I'm feeling discouraged a lot. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling betrayed. And this is driving me insane. One of the subscribers sent me in Telegram sent me a link to a Russian blogger, a girl. She's in Russia. Yeah, she kind of supports the war in Ukraine. She's does blogging from Russia. And she's very upset. She just released a video. She's very upset about how things are going. And Russian government isn't doing anything in Kursk. Russian army is nowhere to be found. And oh, she's not telling anything new. I've been talking about that for a month now, right? Um, to her, the war started, a few days ago. To me, it started back in 2014, and the acute phase started in 2022. and she's monetized. She's in Russia. She's blogging out of Russia. She's not supporting Ukraine. She's supporting Russian government. She's supporting Russian actions. She's upset that Russian government isn't doing enough, but she is monetized. And after I saw that, I mean, I can find all kinds of rational decisions, friends, but seeing that, I'm just sitting here. I'm like, what the fudge, you know? And that's pretty much how I'm feeling. So thanks for your support. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for you are my family and you are the only two things that keep me sane, afloat, and you know, um, oh well. Royal, sorry for any misunderstanding. Hey, no problem. My English isn't pretty good as either. Santi Prieto, howdy. How long is Durov going to be on vacation in France? Until he will, until he agrees to cooperate, I think. Try Proton Mail if you can access it fully encrypted, no cost. Karen Tarlow, thank you so much. As far as I understand, Proton does not have Messenger. I wish they had, because we really need to message everyone safely, you know. Ariel, thank you so much. Signal app is pretty safe. Well, while I was among Russians a few days ago, I talked about how they communicate. Quite a few people told me that the KGB also has access to Signal, and they can read your messages there. So I believe that. KG1, good to see you. Keep up the great streams that you do. Thank you so much. God tests us in many ways, but will make you and the community stronger. Do not lose heart. You are well loved by so many. Thank you so much. And I know that you are a great part of the community. You've been there since, I don't know, start, I think, somewhere around that time. And I see you in the streams every single day. So thank you so much. Uh, I know this situation is both, it's like it has rational and irrational, emotional. Rational, I understand what you're saying. I understand. And I keep on telling it to myself, hey, God is testing and things will get better and all of that. But then there's emotional too. And emotions, they can be thinned out so much, you know, and then they break. And that's, so I'm trying. I'm hanging in there. Thank you so much, KG1. George Ruberty, if the Americans are involved, but the French are willing to take the responsibility, then it shows me that our alliances are strong. Well, there's no question about that. Americans are have very maintained very strong alliance with the French. There's no question about that. No comment. Peskov lied. Unbelievable. I know. Well, yeah, he opened his mouth. He had a wonderful vacation while the war has moved onto Russian territory, and that's okay. I'm on vacation, and now he's back from the vacation. Recharged. Something tells me that if he had a YouTube channel, it'd be monetized now. um, Daniel McInnes, howdy friend, good to see you. Great stream as always. Buy me coffee not appearing. I don't know. Perhaps by demonetizing it, the channel, you know, um, they just they don't want you to have any kind of support. Perhaps they just got rid of that's that's tough, you know. Sam Bowen, love your podcast. I'm from Middle East, and we are all facing the same repressive regimes. Well, Sam, thanks for the coffee. Thanks for the support. Thanks for coming, and thanks for letting me know. Darren AK, is there a problem with your Patreon? It no longer accepts my payments to your membership. My payments to other creators go through. As far as I know, my Patreon is up and running. There were a couple members. Let me just check. The latest member was, um, it would be very ironic if they just get rid of the Patreon now. What's going on? Kind of not seeing any Patreon messages. Um, no, there were a couple. One $10 member a few hours ago. One €3 member. Holy moly! I'm seeing Harry Potter and became a member of Patreon. So things are going through as far as I understand. But let me tell you, friend, if they pull this trick with Patreon, demonetize me on Patreon, I uh that'd be not good. Is there a way to send you money without a third party tool? Well, I have PayPal, Pixel checksum, so thank you so much. Patreon is fine. Buy Me Coffee is pretty good too. They don't charge much, but PayPal is the best. Stop joking. I just joined your Patreon. Lucas, thank you so much. Well, I'm not joking. I just checked. uh, yes, Threema is a Swiss messenger service encrypted. Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much. I heard of Threema. Um, thank you. I'm not gonna tell here what messengers I'm using because it's personal information. But thank you so much for the heads up. Well, obviously I'm using Telegram. I have a Telegram channel, so if you have Telegram, by the way, um, sign up for the channel as well. I keep on informing people of things there in case something goes wrong, something goes sour. I don't really post any private information there, like secured, that I don't want anyone to have access there. I'm a public person and everything is in public access. So I don't see a threat of KGB reading my messages that they read on YouTube, they read on Patreon, whatever. But so I'm still using Telegram. Daniel McInnes, I was able to buy you 3 coffees from the mod link to buy me coffee. Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you. It's great to have you back. You supported with super chats a lot. Look, no money needed. Money, no money. No, doesn't matter. You coming back and you are being with us is great. Let me take a few more questions. Great Southern Land. The West wants Telegram encryption code and log files. Okay, understood. Koshkin Dom, good to see you. Howdy, howdy. Why not start a new channel there? Lisa N. Sekel. Do you know how many efforts I have put into inside Russia? This is like my child. To start a new channel, it's how many thousands of hours? Tens of thousands of hours. Okay. I've had over 1,000 streams, so that makes it, let's say, an average 8 hours for a stream with preparation and streaming. So about 10,000 hours. Do you think it's easy for me just to get up and start a new channel like that? You know, backup channel perhaps, but I mean, this is inside Russia. This is what I've been doing for the past 3 years, you know. If they would close my account, I would cry, literally, you know. Blue Clue 57, it is a few years since we had a lunch at Praska. You left, uh, and I am back in the USA after 15 years in Moscow. I hope I can shake your hand again soon. Kept well. Praska. Blue Clue 57. Reveal yourself. Praska. If you. It is a few years since we had a lunch at Praska. I honestly don't remember having lunch at Metro Praska. I used to live in Chertanovo, but it was a long time ago. It was like over 10, 15 years ago. Are you sure it was Praska? So, Blue Clue 57. Give me some, just remind me, please. Just give me some details. Jodes Rames, thank you so much. Thank you. Kate Topfield, if it's the USA intelligence creating a deal with Pavel, do you think it could lead to events as significant as the breaking of Enigma code? No, because, I mean, the magnitude of these things is absolutely different. Um, Enigma code was just larger than life, was the network of submarines that were deadly. And Telegram, I don't, they will be just, they'll be able to nail a few people or a few hundred people, or they will know plans, but like, I don't see how it would majorly change things. Okay. Pinda, yes, a backup channel, just like Trump Logs did when he got hacked. All right. I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes into inside Russia. This is where I sit, and this is where I sit all the time, from morning till night. Only I usually don't stream. I usually sit in front of my computer, type, search, think. I have a pen in my hand, write things down. And I prepare, if it's an easy stream, they're all created equal. Easy stream is, I'd say, from 4 to 6 hours of research. Difficult stream, 8 to 10 hours. Okay, so from morning till night, basically. Then I set everything up technically, and I stream. And after the stream, it takes me a couple hours to wind down, to come down, to wind down. And by that time, I just don't want to do anything. I'm so tired. I'm so emotionally exhausted. I go and lay on the couch usually, or I sit here, or I don't want to do anything. Okay. And I can't even imagine how I would do something with a backup channel. That would be a straw that would break my back. All right. The last question. And that's it. We'll call it the day. Sam K. Craig Hughes. Telegram had or has a secret chat function similar to Encro chat used by European criminal networks. Well, that argument I don't understand. So what? Um, it's used by us, the exiles, the political activists. It's not just used by European criminal networks. Um, it's saying same thing. Oh, the guns are bad because the European criminal networks use them. It's a tool, okay, and that can be used in different ways by people. Okay, it's their choice. So I don't think if the criminals from Europe use this secret function, that's enough justification to shut down Telegram. Okay, so the secret function in every single messenger. WhatsApp has a secret function. Okay, so no one is going after WhatsApp because WhatsApp is like open door for everyone. But anyway, friends, thank you so very much. Thank you. It means a lot that you come and support and send prayers and wishes and pray with me. Thank you so much. I would like to. I would like you to join me in prayer today as well. Let's pray. Dear Lord Jesus Christ, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thank you for putting food on our tables and giving roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding us with people who we love and who love us. Thank you for our families, our friends, our children, our parents, our siblings, and everyone who is dear to us. Please give us wisdom to raise our children in a way that when they grow up, they will make this world a better place. They will do a good job taking care of this world than we have done, and they will never engage in any wars. Please give us wisdom to keep the skies above our children's heads safe and peaceful. Please keep our children safe and healthy. Dear Lord, I am asking for Ukraine. The country and the people have suffered so much. Please stop the bloodshed in Ukraine and give the country peace. Reach out and touch the hearts and souls of those who are responsible for this criminal, crazy, tragical decision to start the war. Touch their hearts, fill them with love, remind them there's still human beings and this love left in their hearts, and have them stop the bloodshed, have them make the decision to stop the bloodshed. Please help every single Ukrainian, answer their prayers, and make their wishes come true. And please help my country, Russia, assemble your strongest angels with sharpest swords into the heavenly army, led by Saint Michael in shining armor, and send them to this earth to get rid of the demons who we know by their names and by their faces, who have hijacked my country. Please send angels to get rid of them, and send angels to help good Russian people to run the country, make it peaceful, loving, and respecting. Dear Lord, please help everyone who is traveling, send them safe travels, help everyone who is in danger, in dire straits, send them safety, help everyone who is seeking for asylum, running away from evil, trying to be safe and in peace, help them, send help their way. Please help single mothers and fathers who are raising their children and struggling, trying to make ends meet. Please help those who are current in Ukraine who are currently under attacks of Russian missiles and bombs. Send them safety. Help those who are helping Ukrainians. Please help the cold, the sick, the hungry, the addicted, the jobless, the homeless, the depressed, the betrayed, the ones who are losing their faith, the ones who are crying, shedding tears right now, the ones who are not feeling well about themselves, the ones who are feeling alone in this world, and the ones who are not feeling well about their lives. Please fill the hearts of people in need with love and have them feel you right next to them. Have them feel that they're not alone, that you are with them, you have not left them. Um, have them feel that you watch every step they take and care for them and love them, and have them feel that they're your children. Please help everyone in need. Thank you so very much for allowing us to come every day and pray. Thank you for this community. Thank you for everyone who is praying along with me or simply watching us pray. Have everyone's prayer answered and make everyone's wish come true. Dear Lord, I would like to ask you for a few people who need your help. They are Greg, Millie, Jodes Rames, Ann Larson, and her daughter Hannah. Please have may rest the souls of Sabrina and Uncle TK rest in peace. Please help Jeffrey S. and his family, Alex from Albuquerque, Mark Rutan, Tom W., J.R. McKim, Frank in Texas, Gabe in with Gary, Lisa Kumrian, Harry Potman and his family, Terry Carter, John McLean, Linda Trombley, Paula W., Dennis, Jason Carney, Susie Mailer, Tim Mayers, Dory, Rhonda McGillis, John, Taylor, Wayne, Dave, Don, Darla, George Ruberty, Pamela J., Meta Spencer, David Porter, his family, and everyone in Chernovtsi, Ukraine. Please help those who have suffered from the Russian attacks on Lviv and other Ukrainian cities. Leif, Randolph, Grace, Dean Spooner and his church, Yelena, Natasha, Michael, Jake, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Svetlana, Sergey, Liz, Ron Klotzer, Liz Dumbrell, Koshkin Dom, Sandra, Mike and Mike, Petra Olson, Joseph Obaid, Melissa, and please help all the children from Ukraine who have been misplaced, taken from their parents, have them come back to their homes and live with their parents happily ever after. Thank you, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you, friends. Thank you for coming, giving me a chance, listening, commenting, asking questions, sending wishes, supporting, sending love. Thank you so much. I would like to remind you that you're awesome and you rock. I will see everyone tomorrow on Friday after a couple weeks without crazy Friday news updates because I've been away, I'm going to make so many crazy news. You're gonna love tomorrow. Thank you so very much. I'll see you all tomorrow. Before I sign off, I would like to ask you the following: the usual, as what I usually ask. Please repeat after me as loud as you can the following: Carthago delenda est.